How is everybody doing today? We've got a game between Baldur and BigPoppaJojo for the Chef Goon Sword and Shield Draft League. Now we see Baldur bringing his normal rain team, I guess, with the Claydol as kind of the substitute from his normal. BigPoppaJojo bringing a pretty normal team as well. So let's just get right into it and see exactly what teams they're bringing. We see Baldur lead off with the Seismitoad and Hippowdon for BigPoppaJojo. I expect like a trade of rocks, but Hippowdon reveals the Power Whip as BigPoppaJojo gets up the Stealth Rocks. We see that the Hippowdon is physically defensive, so Seismitoad doesn't really have much to fear there. Goes for a liquidation again on the Mandibuzz. Defense drop is nice, but no real reason to sacrifice an item, as probably the knockoff's coming out here. We do see the knockoff. Let's see. It's not a Damp Rock this week, which is interesting. Choosing to not fight the weather that way. Ice Beam from Pelipper. Interesting choice. I guess he saw it as a better way to deal with the Hippowdon. Roost from Mandibuzz. Get that thing nice and bulky. And he predicts an electric attack from Vikavolt. And it does go for a Thunder. So fearing the Mold Breaker Earthquake, probably going to swap out the Vikavolt. Go straight into Seismitoad. Rock Slide does a decent amount, 15%. Rain's gone now, so not too much to fear there from BigPoppaJojo. Earthquake, that's a very physically defensive cool fish, as we see. Although it could not be, because the Seismitoad does get the -1 attack from the Intimidate. Baldur is going to continue to fire off the Earthquakes to get rid of this thing. Toxic on the Seismitoad is going to be trouble for him, though. Good prediction on both their parts. Wow. Alright, Ferroseed's out. Gonna lose that Eviolite from the knockoff. Mandibuzz does get a little bit of chip from the Iron Barbs. Interesting that he went for a U-turn, hoping for maybe the Ferroseed to swap out, but no real reason to. Baldur has that one layer of spikes up, and he has his Stealth Rocks up now. Ferroseed not going to be damaged by the Sandstorm. Body press on the Hippowdon, that's very interesting, just to deal with the Ferroseed, I assume. Second layer of spikes is going to be a lot for BigPoppaJojo to deal with. It's going to have to get that Mandibuzz in to defog soon. Hippowdon down to 55. If I had to assume Pelipper would be good here, and then could just fire off a Scald. Brings in Vikavolt though. Hippowdon takes a chance to get up his rocks again. His Vikavolt fires off a energy ball. So BigPoppaJojo knows that this is a Specs Vikavolt from that. Jolteon going to come in, threaten the Vikavolt out. Seismitoad good for blocking that. Reveals the Weather Ball with the Sandstorm that becomes a 100 base rock attack. So very interesting, especially with these weather war that's going on. We saw the Flame Orb from Jolteon, so it is the Quick Feet, so we'll have its speed doubled. Or not doubled, it's a 1.5 boost actually. Had some defogs coming out here from Mandibuzz. Oh, just go straight for a knockoff. Gets rid of that choice specs from the Vikavolt. Thinks he's going for an electric attack again. Let's see. Yep, he does go for the electric attack. He's not choiced here, but probably good to get that away. Levitate's not going to save the Claydol from the Excadrill that has the Mold Breaker. Bypasses that. Baldur chooses to sack off Claydol here. So what could his best option be? Pelipper. I guess we don't really know what item this Excadrill is, although the way he's playing it makes it seem as though it's a Scarf. Scald on the Jolteon switch in, and it will die to its own burn, unfortunately. So Gengar comes out. I guess fearing a Nasty Plot or a substitute, he's got to stay in with the Pelipper. So now he's only got 3 turns left of Rain, so make the most of it with the Barraskewda. Smartly goes into Mandibuzz. I'm assuming it's physically defensive. Yeah, the damage definitely shows physically defensive Mandibuzz there. Seismitoad out to block any hit. Takes a knockoff and loses its leftovers. Appears to be specially defensive Seismitoad. The amount of damage it took. Going for liquidation just to get a little bit of extra off the Mandibuzz. But it will heal itself back up with that roost. We saw that the Mandibuzz is heavy duty boots also, just to ensure that he can get defogged off in this match. Knock off for a little bit more damage. Just kind of bite BigPoppaJojo though, because he does get the Mandibuzz down to about half. Vigavolt not loving those stealth rocks that are up, but Baldur doesn't really have much of an option there. Let's see if he went for electric attack. Energy Ball, good prediction. Didn't expect the Mandibuzz to stay in. Earthquake again will bypass the mold or the levitate. Barraskewda comes out here, opting to go for Aqua Jet. We don't see a life orb, so we have to assume that it's a choice band Barraskewda here. Gengar takes a hefty chunk from those spikes and 2 layers of spikes and stealth rocks. Choice band Aqua Jet knocks out the Gengar. Quillfish dies to hazards, doesn't even get to have the Intimidate go off. So it's going to be a 1v1 between the Barraskewda and Mandibuzz. We see an Aqua Jet. Good chunk. Knocks off the choice band. So, very unfortunate timeout for Baldur, as he could have gone for the liquidation from Barraskewda after that and knocked out the Mandibuzz just based on the damage from the Aqua Jet. Yeah, very unfortunate for the timer, so hopefully Nintendo, Game Freak, Pokemon will fix that soon, but kind of got to deal with what we're given, unfortunately. So, anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the battle. Baldur, BigPoppaJojo, hope you learned a lot from this game, and we'll see you all next week. Thanks, bye-bye.